Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show. Well, the big story, of course, was the Democratic National Convention held in Chicago, Illinois, the location of black-on-black crime out of control, Mayor Daley, then the second Mayor Daley, the Daley political corruption, the home of Barack Obama, Jeremiah Wright. I mean, it's just a joke. Lightfoot, remember Lightfoot? She was a great mayor, wasn't she? The platform of the Democratic National Convention, by the way, there isn't anything for Kamala Harris. I mean, it just goes to show you their entire campaign is flim-flam. The entire campaign's flim-flam. And I've got to hope that voters don't fall for it, at least not 50% plus one. Kamala Harris made a surprise appearance last night to welcome the guests. The place goes, by the way, the only people that are in that hall are the elite Democratic Party progressive operatives. Joe Biden, you can't make it up. He is the sitting president. He is who they did the coup against. Nancy Pelosi's admitted that. And what do? He goes on after prime time. The sitting president of the United States, he gets on there at about 11 o'clock. Can't make it up. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton comes up. Can you imagine how mad Hillary is that she's not going to be the first president? But she had to inject her mother and Kamala's mother, you know. And when I'm hearing her speak, I'm thinking to myself, this woman, all the corruption and crimes that she got away with. I mean, like the destruction of the phones, Trump, DOJ doesn't go after her. But, of course, look what happens to Trump. Trump was naive about her. Andy Beshear, Kentucky's governor, spoke, and he said something that was a complete lie. He used that young woman as a prop, and he talked about the state of Kentucky and the abortion issue. He misrepresented Trump's position. He said Trump was not rape, incest, life of the mother. That's not true. Trump does support those exceptions and has cautioned Republicans about not having those exceptions. AOC spoke. Boy, she let it rip. The place went wild. Just goes to show you how progressive they are. And when they talk about their past lives working, these people have been the worst for the working man and woman in this country. The very worst. Laura Ingraham said the reason why they had Kamala Harris on the bench all these years is because that's where she belonged. Protests broke out all across Chicago and outside the convention center, and businesses boarded things up. It's unbelievable. Trump gave a speech to some defense workers about the way he would reduce energy by increasing production. Supply and demand. He knows economics. And Trump's campaigned in Pennsylvania, and he's not going to let the DNC have their little party without him making a statement. He's free to go to all the battleground states, and that's what he's doing. Smart move. Nancy Pelosi has admitted, now that it seems to be a success, has admitted, after denying it, her role in kicking Joe Biden. Chris Wallace, the liberal commentator for CNN, said they threw Joe Biden out the window. They sure did, didn't they, Chris? Comes out that Wallace has funded his state, $100,000 for defund the police organization. That's your vice president, folks. Sherrod Brown, apparently is beating Bernie Moreno in Ohio by 5 percentage points. Still early, though. We'll see what happens. Harris, you know what she's now claiming? She wants to increase the corporate rate back up to 25% for corporations. If you're a working man in America, what do you think that's going to do for you? Milwaukee Police Association has endorsed Trump. I mentioned cops everywhere are going to endorse Trump, right? It came out in the GOP report, $27 million is what they calculate the Biden family stole from the United States taxpayers and with all their crime and treason. And speaking of American job worries, Americans are increasingly worried about their jobs. And why shouldn't they? GM just laid off 1,000. The layoffs are coming, baby. They're coming. If you're one of those people who've been laid off, who the hell are you going to vote for? And I thought about this. This is kind of sad and funny. For the first time in our history, this is how bad it is. For the first time in our history, there's fast food inflation, and Americans can't afford the bottom line food source, which is fast food. It's never happened before in our country. Fast food inflation. You're going to vote for Kamala and Biden? And by the way, I would guess that in his speech, Joe Biden probably did it on purpose. In Joe Biden's speech, you know what he said? He said, we were together, our team, everything else. In other words, Kamala was part of everything I did. And speaking of 4 years ago, those people that are being polled say their dollar went a lot further 4 years ago. And by the way, Kamala's economic policies increased the budget deficit 1.7 trillion. It's nuts, folks. It's nuts. Do not be a mangled, envious cullion. Be a bulldog.